right, welcome to week 6 of The View from the End Zone. This week, we're joined by our guest from the Lake Bluestreaks, Dan DeGeorge. Coach Dan DeGeorge has got things rolling up in Lake. I would say they're red hot, but you'd probably say blue hot in terms of Lake right now. You guys are 5-0, having a great start to your season, one of the few 5-0 teams in our area, and just coming off a win this week, a 35-21 victory over Glen Oak. Coach DeGeorge, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you doing this, and I think it's good for all of Stark County and for high school football.
You guys definitely have it going on. I know that you've suffered a little bit of adversity along the season, changing quarterbacks. Tell us a little bit about your transition this year.
Yeah, we had a couple injuries early. Our first 2 games, we were without our starting tailback, Davis Madsen. He had an emergency appendectomy right before week 1. Then week 3, a couple plays into our week 3 game, we lost one of our more versatile players, DeGeorge. He was playing some quarterback, but really playing more free safety slot tailback. Broke his ankle, out for the year. That was a big loss for us. Alex Quire was pretty much our quarterback the whole year. We were sneaking tie-in at times, but just losing one of your better players is always hard. But the kids have really rallied and stepped up and found ways to win. Especially
hard when one of those players is one of your sons.
Yeah, one of the more difficult experiences I've been through as a head coach. Broke his ankle, play 4, week 3, and they took him to the hospital. And mom took him to the hospital, and I stayed and coached, obviously. But that was difficult, and then to find out that news was tough as well. But could have been a lot worse. You know, we keep talking about that and reminding him of that, and he's handling it like a champ. He's probably handling it better than Dad is. So,
yeah, I can imagine. And I feel your pain there last year. In my last season, my son was a senior. He got hurt during a game, and it's a very torn moment. He's heading to the hospital in an ambulance, and I'm still on the sidelines, and you're torn between your 2 families.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, it was difficult. There's no way around that. But the whole time at the hospital, Ty just wanted to get back to the game. He just wanted to know what was going on at the game, wanted his team to win. So he's a really good football player, but a better kid, and thank his mother for that, for sure.
Fantastic. Well, I'll tell you what, Coach, you found a way to navigate through those situations, and that is truly, speaks to the volumes of your team unity, your next man up mentality. I'm sure you have that going because you've definitely put things together. And I enjoyed watching your game against Glen Oak last week. It was a blue collar football, which I've always enjoyed.
Sure.
Maybe expand a little bit about last weekend before we get to the film.
Yeah, no, Glen Oak's a very well coached team. We did not start out very good, to be honest with you, and Glen Oak jumped up on us. And our kids eventually responded in the second half. We were quite sloppy in that first quarter. So there were a lot of things that at halftime we talked about, made some adjustments, and really just relaxed a little bit and started playing. But that's the Federal League, though. I mean, you sort of throw the records out, and if you don't show up ready to play all 4 quarters, man, you get punched in the mouth. And they did that a little bit to us in the first quarter. Again, some of it was some self-inflicted wounds. But our kids have dug deep. They found a way to hold on. It still wasn't the prettiest of games, even the second half. But we'll take it. When you can win a game and still find a lot of room for improvement and circle a lot of things that you can fix, that's a good thing. So that's exciting as a coach because you can get better.
Absolutely. And when you win and you learn from a win, that's the best way to learn.
Absolutely.
But yeah, you're right. Your team showed a lot of resilience during that game, and as it kind of speaks to how the team has played this year. They've done a great job. You played some really good opponents, and like you said, hopefully people can appreciate what you said there about playing in the Federal League. Very well coached league, where every Friday night, if you're not ready to play, you can walk out with an L.
No, absolutely. My opinion, probably the toughest overall league, public school league in the state of Ohio. Just because first you have tons of really good athletes, but even more so you have a lot of really good coaching staffs that put a lot of time and effort into it. And so yeah, you're always going up against not only quality kids, but quality coaching staffs as well.
All right, Coach. Well, hey, we're going to jump into the film, and you'll have a chance to see it on your side, and you
Sure.
can kind of expand. Sometimes with these plays that we get straight from the Huddle app, they have a little bit of lead in, but you can kind of explain as things are going. But go ahead, Rob. We'll run the first play here. I was so impressed with number 54 here, defensive lineman, how he came off blocks and made this play.
Yeah, that's Gavin Salswimmer, senior for us. Just a blue collar kid, man. Very tough, very coachable. Doesn't say much, but just plays football the way you're supposed to play it. Very physical. Does a nice job there, using his hands, getting separated from the block and going to make the play, just like his coach did.
He got away from the block, settled, stayed at the line of scrimmage, didn't create a bigger hole, and then came back in and made a play. It was a beautiful thing for a defensive lineman.
Absolutely.
Next, we're going to, again, I think this may be the next play, another tackle for a loss, because your defense definitely, was there early and making some plays behind the line of scrimmage.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we got 2nd and long here. We're, running to the football, which is something we practice every single day. Coach Viscount, my defense coordinator, we do a tackling circuit, and we do angling and running to the football, make sure everyone does what they're supposed to do on every single play. And our linebacker got through because he was running to the ball and read it right and made a nice play there.
Yeah, certainly did. Now we're going to look at a little play action pass here. Touchdown pass, which I'm not sure exactly what the score was here, but definitely gets you in the end zone.
I think we were maybe this might be our first score. Yeah, we go play action, 3rd and 5. So I'm thinking maybe 2 down territory here. We went just with a little slant, safety bit down. Our receiver did a nice job of running behind him. Our quarterback, Alex Quire, threw a nice ball. Then Chase Fuller was able to do the rest and beat the safety in the end zone. Yeah,
he was at yards after catch, and he made that safety miss and took it to the end zone. Nice play there. And your quarterback, he's throwing the ball well. I mean, you found a way to get a guy in there that can do a lot. I noticed in the game he scrambles pretty well too.
Yeah, no, Alex is doing a really good job at quarterback. He played 4 or 5 games for us last year at quarterback. He unfortunately lost the back end of his season last year with a knee injury. He's done a heck of a job battling back from an ACL, playing at a really high level, making some good throws. We also we have more skill outside than we're used to having. A lot more guys that can run. So that's a nice luxury. I think last week we threw 4 touchdown passes to 4 different receivers.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's great. So this next play, you're in this big formation. I don't know if you couldn't get any more guys in the box than what you had. I absolutely know John DeMarco was not your offensive coordinator on this play.
Sure. You'd be surprised. Coach DeMarco is running the ball like crazy right now. But yeah, it's 3rd and short. We bring in our jumbo package, a couple tight ends, a couple big fullbacks. We're obviously first off trying to get the first down, but we do a good job up front, pick up the linebackers, and then Davis Matson does the rest. He's got a little bit of speed and was able to outrun the safety to the corner for a big touchdown.
Rob, if we could run that play back again, one thing I wanted to point out was how clean your running back came through the hole. He didn't get touched until he got to the goal line.
No, and we pointed this out Saturday morning as well. When everyone does their job, we got hats on hats. The free safety is the only one unblocked, and we outrun him. So that's a really, really good football play. And if you're a running back, those are the type of plays you like, right?
Absolutely, yes. That was a nice play. Taking a look at this next play, we got 54, again, playing some defense. He chases this runner down, nearly the sideline from the defensive line position, causes a fumble.
Sure, yeah, he's reading the poolers as well, and our linebackers are calling that out, and he's running down the line of scrimmage like he's taught. Again, running to the football, not giving up, and finds a way to punch the ball out. Big turnover for us, gives us a short field offensively, which we took advantage of, which is awesome.
So our next play here, Coach, is kind of a defensive coordinator's nightmare. You guys move all over the place in your formation here, and then set up and score a touchdown.
Yeah, 4th down in the red zone. I thought for a second about kicking a field goal. We were up 14-7 here. I thought it was a good time to play action. We actually don't block this how we're supposed to. We are shifting there a little bit just to, catch the eyes of the safety and get them thinking a little bit. Our backside split end ends up coming open underneath the linebackers, and Alex does a nice job of throwing him open and for a big touchdown there.
Yeah, and Rob, if we could run that back for 1 second, I just want to point out, just what you just said there, Coach, how he throws the ball across his body here and to the other side. It was a really nice play.
Yeah, Alex does a good job of getting depth after the fake as well, which gives him time. He ends up at about 7-8 yards, which is where he needs to be. He can run away from some pressure there and throw Zach Novak open for a big play.
All right, so now we're coming up with another big play. You're at midfield here, and throwing it right down the seam. The guy bends into to a post play. Well, I think we're on a different play here. We are on defensive line. I think this is 47 coming through, shedding a block and making a play.
Yeah, Kyle Hammer's in on that. Him and Zach Castera. So we got our nose guard and our linebacker making the play. But Kyle's a senior captain for us, one of our linebackers. Read the puller, beat him there, and helped clean that up with Zach.
All right. So we may have our plays screwed up a little bit as we're going through this. I think this is the one I was talking about earlier with the post play or down the seam in the middle of the field here.
Yeah, we're 2nd and 7 here, looking to throw a post in the middle of the field. Our receivers to Glen Oaks side do a great job and run their routes accordingly, which pulls that safety out, opens the middle of the field up. Cole Lancherman, who was the slot running the post, is very fast and is just able to outrun the safety. And Alex threw him a nice ball with some air on it, and he was able to run underneath it for a big score.
Yeah, you're giving those safeties plenty of work. This next one was super impressive with the scramble for your quarterback here. He's all over the place and then finds a way to get a completion out of this.
Yeah, Alex does a nice job of keeping a lot of plays alive. We're protecting fairly well there. Has some time, works back to the open side of the field. Chase Fuller, number 22, does a good job, and see Alex scrambling, and he works for some depth to the side that Alex is running to. It's one of those little things that you talk about with your kids at practice, and hopefully if it occurs in the game, they'll do it. And he did it, and Alex threw him a nice ball for a big first down.
100% on that. When I was watching that play, I was thinking defensively, we would say to our defensive backs at that point, it's like tag, grab a guy and go wherever he goes. And your receiver, he bent off and boom, big play.
Yeah.
Take a look at this next one. Go ahead, Coach.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
All right. So this next one is interception here. Thrown deep ball. It got lots of air time, but your safety and your corner, I think, make a nice job of adjusting this, and I think your safety gets it.
Yeah, this is, again, we got a little bit of a pass rush. They're going deep here. And then Chase Fuller, our free safety, jumps up and grabs it. Our corner, Cal Pierce, was in really good position as well. Those 50-50 balls we got to come down with in that situation, and we did. And then, again, nice little return after that. We had some guys looking for blocks as well. So doing what they're coached to do after a turnover is a good thing to see.
Yes, for sure. All right, so now being a former linebacker coach, this next play, I was so impressed with how this linebacker comes up here on the right side, sheds the puller, and then makes the play in the hole.
Yeah, again, that's Kyle Hammer does a good job with the guard wrapping around, again, attacking that block rather than letting the opposite happen, and was more physical than him and came off and did his job, man. So we're a gap sound defensive team, and Coach Viscount does a great job of teaching our kids to understand their responsibilities, and Kyle did a really nice job on that play.
Yeah, he put the wrapper. He put that guy in one side of the hole and himself on the other side. There's nowhere to go. It was a great job.
Right.
All right, our last play we have for you is this reverse pivot touchdown pass towards, I'm not sure if this might be the end of the game here, but in a great catch in the end zone on a guy who's covered.
Yeah, we're just running a little play action here. We actually messed up the fake in the backfield, but we blocked it well enough. Our receivers kept running routes. We're just sort of flooding that zone with a little sprint out with our quarterback, and Landis, our ex receiver, made a good catch in the end zone for a touchdown. So that was a nice play.
And you walk out of Glen Oak 5-0.
Yeah, we walked out with the victory, which is nice. Like I said, it was way too sloppy at times on both sides. There were a couple of drives defensively that we didn't tackle well. A couple of drives offensively where we dropped some balls early on, which is uncharacteristic of some of our kids. But they responded, right? They were mad about it, and they wanted to fix it, and they did. So proud of that. But no, moving forward, we got to be more consistent. Got to play for 4 quarters to continue to win football games.
Yeah, because you're heading into a longer stretch here, Federal League now, correct? You got Jackson coming up next week.
Yeah, we have Northwest this Friday.
Okay.
They're a very good football team. And Jackson the following week, and then our last 4, Jackson, McKinley, Hoover, and Green. So we end the season with the game of the Federal League, but we can't look past Northwest. Coach DeMarco is obviously a very good coach. They're playing really good football on both sides of the ball. Have some good skill kids, very good running back, really good defense. So we got our hands full. It's homecoming week. It's my least favorite week of the year because everyone's distracted by all these other things. And it's nice, but we got to find a way to stay focused. And if we drop our guard at all,
football team. They have a great defense. They
really do.
You're right. They've got 3 backs in the backfields at times. They do a lot of things. It's going to be a test.
Yeah, and he's going to mix it up, man. He'll have 3 backs in the backfield and be running off tackle, then the quarterback will pull it and they'll run some option and they'll jump right into spread. With 1 back, they'll jump into some empty. So you got to be prepared for a lot of things. And then defensively, they're a 3-4 and they're moving around a lot. They're really good on the back end. There haven't been many teams that have been able to run the ball very successful on them either. So, definitely a very tough task for us. So going to be a battle.
Well, I'm sure you'll have them ready for the test, Coach. You've shown a great history from the time you've been there. And I was just thinking today as I was driving in back at Malone Pioneer days when you were running the ball tough there and you're running the ball tough at Lake right now, same mentality. It's like you were built to be a Lake Bluestreak.
Yeah, man, there's no other place I'd rather be. Very, very lucky to be where I'm at. And again, we've been here it's my 28th year. My wife's also a teacher here. So, yeah, we definitely bleed blue in our family.
Fantastic, Coach. Hey, send my best to your injured players and also your son there too. Again, keep up the great work, Coach. Good luck with the rest of the season. Finish that first season 5-0, finish the second season 5-0, and then finish that third season undefeated.
I appreciate it. And again, thank you for what you're doing. This is a pretty cool thing. And thanks for having me.
All right, Coach, take care. And thank you for joining us here on The View from the End Zone. And thank you for joining us tonight on The View from the End Zone on YSN Live.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.